So hey y'all, I am in a different location. You might hear the echo. I'm in the bathroom because I'm going to the bathroom, but I'm in the bathroom because it is loud as shit that way, which means in my office, in my living room, in my kitchen, and pretty much in my bedroom. Pretty much the whole house is really loud because my husband's playing games. So I wanted to talk a little bit about where I am currently writing. So I'm still in the 16,000 mark, because again, only 250 words a day currently. I'm still averaging more than that, but every time I sit down to write, or almost every time I sit down to write, I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Every time. I mean, I get the words out, but I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if everybody else feels that way as they write. I mean, I have an outline. I know my characters. I know essentially what's supposed to happen. And then I sit down to write the words, and the words are like, don't want to tell you. I don't want to come today. Too bad. But you know what? They do come because I sit my butt down and force them on the page. And the struggle with this is, and I know a lot of other author tubers are very much can do the skeleton and they go back and fill things in. But to be honest with you, if I don't write it in my first draft, it's not likely going to end up in the draft. I cut quite a few things, but I have a really hard time adding to my story after the fact, which is why it takes me so long to draft. That's why I'm not a fast first drafter. I don't zero draft. I don't even really do like a draft 1, 2, 3. It's my draft and then I start editing it. And it's usually pretty close to its final form when I draft it the first time. So I often feel the pressure of the words needing to come when I tell them I'm sitting down to write. So I'd love to know what your experience is like with this, because as much as it works out, it still fucks with me, and I don't know if I'm the only one. So anyway, that's my thoughts on writing at the moment. I am still reading. You can see I have like 60 pages or so left. I've been reading the one that everybody suggested for me on Instagram. I'm going to be picking a new book here in the next day or two. I think I'm going to pick the one this time, even though that was from a list of books that I wanted to read. My husband liked this book, and he warned me when I picked it up that I may have some troubles with it because he knows I'm a very picky reader. And although stylistically the writing's not bad, I actually understand a lot of the word choices because they're the same kind of choices that I make. I'm finding myself skimming interesting details, a lot of interesting stuff. I just think there's things present that don't add to the tension, whereas they're interesting to know about the world. I don't really think I need to know some of them, and some things are repeated a few times. So I don't know if I'm going to make it through the series. I think there's only 3, and my husband keeps telling me just to read it. With as little as I read, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the rest of the series. I do have a plan for technically my books in February, even though it's February now. I found another book that I had started last month that I would like to finish. It's really short. I have 150 pages left in it. I think we're going to read that. And then I'm going to start another series that my husband rather liked. He hasn't told me any qualms about it like he did with this one. So that's my plan. Reading and writing. Updated. So hey y'all. I had a very good, productive day. I edited 2 stories. Woot woot. I did my second draft of my cold pitch. I worked on my Love Me page quite a bit. Woo on that regard. Got all of my stuff done, emailed my students, just wrote 332 words. Still have no idea what I'm doing, but progress. So I'm gonna go finish watching America's Got Talent Champions and put up some blog posts, and I'm done for the day, and I'm gonna go to reading. By the way, I did want to show you guys my stack currently, so still gonna finish this one tomorrow. My husband and I were talking about classic novels, dystopic novels that we should have read, and I've read quite a few that he hasn't, and he's read quite a few that I haven't, but one we agree on that we both should read, Lord of the Flies. It's short. I think I'm going to give it a try this month. I'm also going to be starting Working for the Devil. This is one that he suggested to me that I might like better than the one I'm currently reading. I started this one last year. It's short-ish. I like the series. I'm going to try to finish this month. And then I have a book I started on my phone and I'm currently recording on. I'll put it over here. It's just a self-designated trashy romance that is kind of a palate cleanser that I found myself getting lost in. So I'm being adventurous and I'm gonna try to read 4 books this month. We'll see. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody cares about what I'm reading and shit, but I did finish this finally. Blood Ring, Faith Hunter. It ended in a way that actually made me curious about the next books. I'm not going to pick them up right now. I'm going to go read something else. But I feel like this is a book for a certain kind of mood that I was kind of in to start with, and then I kind of fell out of, and then I kind of found again, and then I kind of fell out of, and then I kind of found again. I'm learning I'm not so keen on too much backstory, too much world building needed. I kind of prefer a slow build. I like lots of action and dialogue, and there was bits of that in here which I enjoyed, but at one point the action just became like the same thing over and over and over again. So overall, I'd give it a 3, I think. I liked the story. Could have trimmed 40 pages off of it. I'm that kind of person. So, alright, anyways, I had a snow day today, which meant I got to finish reading this, and now I'm gonna get to editing because I have fed the boys, and they're out playing in the snow. In Oklahoma, we got inches of snow. They're making snowmen, so let them enjoy that. I had plenty of years in Syracuse, New York doing that, so I'm alright staying inside. Yep. Alright, gonna get to work. Yay. Hey guys, so I got my 275 for today written. It wasn't terribly difficult, but I'm having a hard time pulling myself away from the book I'm currently reading. I'm already halfway through it. I started it last night, so yeah. It's a very short ebook, and it's, again, a trashy romance. It's a series of 2, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get the other one. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this ends. I also have a prediction that the date the girl protagonist just agreed to go on with the male protagonist's twin brother is going to be their birthday. She set that up. We'll see if I'm right. If I am, I'll let you know. But, yeah, did my words for today. I'm going to go back to reading. I got my words in for the day. I got my little bit of embarrassment, I think. I had expected something a little bit more, and I'm okay with it not being as much yet. I might come up with something different later, but that teacher trying to embarrass my main character because he is her mentor and this is the first day of class and she's student class president and all that fun stuff, you know, start witness in a trial. Lots of things happen in book 1. So she's kind of notorious and he likes to fuck with her because she likes to fuck with him. So, yes. Got to talk to my dad for an hour, which was awesome. We talked about some books and some TV shows. I got some more stuff to watch. And I started reading this. I'm only on page 14. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I had trouble reading this in high school. I have trouble with a lot of literary fiction, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a serious try. If I can get, like, even just a little bit a day while I'm reading something else, I will get through the book. I will do it because I said I was going to do it. Yep. Gonna go read, shower, and go to bed because it's school tomorrow. Yep. Y'all, for real, I have been playing way too much on Goodreads and YouTube. Still getting my work done. But I have now made my own Bookopoly board. Read 4 books in a month and think you're a superstar and can start reading all the time, Alisha. Yeah, that's how I was up to 1:30 making it. And it's only the outline, and I was just being stupid. And I looked around my room and realized that more than half, probably 2/3 of my books are packed away. As much as I have in this office. I only have 2 shelves, or part of 2 shelves, devoted to some of my books. And the rest are books that I've published in these 2 shelves, and things that I use for every day. And then these are school books from my husband and I going to college. And I went to college for 10 years, and my husband went to college for 4 or 5. He's got like 200 credits, and I've got 3 or... Does he have 2 or 3, and I have 3 or 4? Y'all, I have 3 degrees. So, I was in school for a long time. I did 7 years as an undergrad and 3 years as a graduate student, and then another 8 years as a professor. So, I have a lot of writing books and stuff. So, anyways, that's not what I came here to talk about. I just started babbling because I've been reading, and I started Lord of the Flies, and I'm actually trying to give it a chance. So, at least I understand what's going on this time. Last time I tried to read this, I was a senior in high school, so I was 16 or 17. I think I just turned 17, and I'm 35. So it's been 18 years. Did I just do math right? I hope I just did math right. It's been 18 years since I tried to read this last, and I remember bits of it because I remember acting out one of the scenes where Piggy gets punched and his glasses fly off because I played Piggy. I had glasses. I played Piggy. I stuffed a pillow up in my shirt, and I remember the jock in my group was the one who got to punch me. Somebody I had a crush on too, and we had to do this all silently. And we couldn't say anything, we just had to act out a scene from the book. And that's all I remember of it, so... And we'll see what happens with reading it. I'm thinking about starting reading vlog stuff, bookish things since I started reading again. If I can keep consistent with reading, every once in a while I might have a reading thing pop up here and there. So, I don't have to mix it all together in this. This time it is. I think this will be... Maybe the next one will be the last time because I've been recording in that one too. Anyways, this is supposed to be a writing update. I am almost to 18,000 words, which is pretty freaking fantastic. I finally got through the longest chapter I have written in a really, really, really long time. It even had like 2 scene breaks and stuff, and I don't usually do that type of thing. I prefer short chapters. This is young adult. I do know that young adult chapters tend to be a little bit longer for most people. I still prefer shorter chapters, even in young adult. It's just my preference. I like it when you flip through and you're like, oh, I can read another chapter. Oh, I can read another chapter. And so that's what I emulate my style with, is because that's what I prefer to read. So this chapter just... It felt like writing it would never end. Like, I never got really much farther than my 250 in most of it. It was stuff I've never done before. Like, I was never part of student council. I never really participated in anything in high school. Well, like, one thing here and there, but nothing real magnificent. Most of the time, my friends and I went swimming in my pool, or we played rummy, or poker, or card games. One summer, a friend and I in middle school watched Scream 150 times that summer. Like, we used to mouth the words along to it. I didn't do anything all too crazy until I got into college. So, trying to write the 14-year-old doing all these activities in a world that I don't really... Like, I understand it, but it's my second book in this world, so, like, I have the basics of it down. I have a lot of the ethology down, which is the creature's behaviors and stuff like that, but I have no idea about the governing system, and so that's what I'm working through right now. And it's the first time my main character, Lily, is being in class, like an actual class with her mentor, with other students around, because usually they're one-on-one. They had 2 classes together last semester. One was her mentorship, which was pretty much a free-for-all, him trying to teach her how to be a repper or a rule enforcer of the paranormal. And the other one was a free kind of physical training. So she had her repper physical training and then her repper societal or knowledge-based training. And she still has both of those this semester, but she was one-on-one on him with those things, and now she's got him for psychology special areas. It's comparative psychology. So it's comparing the thought processes of people who are, say, immortal versus who are mortal versus immortal, and how their behavior is different because of these things. And so there's going to be a lot of comparative things like human versus non-human, and perceived good versus evil and those types of things. So trying to get through that was pretty tough because I really don't know enough about psychology to do an actual class in that. And so I did the introduction to the class where everybody got to say stuff about themselves, an icebreaker activity. And he was supposed to call her out on something, and he does. He almost makes her hair burst out into her power, which is glowing. So the first book's the girl with the glowing hair. That ends up being her power, and it misfires all the time. And it's pretty powerful because the only other person in the world who has it is Lucifer, her mother. So she has no idea really how to control it or what to do with it, but it does come in handy quite a bit. Pretty much amplifies people's reactions to her, so either adoration or fear are amplified. I don't know what it does to anger though. We haven't gotten there. That most people have just kind of run away from her, fallen into a goop. One of them doesn't like her power in the first book, which is the big bad of the first book, really. So anyways, I'm babbling again. I was struggling to get through this chapter. I'm on a new chapter, and Lily is finally getting to fully interact with Evan again and Star without any of the other people who have entered her life, and so this should be pretty fun to write about. Much like her with Thorn was really fun. I really like the banter between these group of characters. They are cheeky and intelligent and young and free, but still have problems, and so they freely pick on each other and goof around, and it's just, they're good for each other. I don't know what else to say about that. Anyways, I'm rambling. So since I've been reading a lot, I would love to know what you guys are reading. I'm trying to fill up my Goodreads TBR. So if you have suggestions, I love young adult, I love adult fantasy, all types of fantasy, dark fantasy, urban fantasy, paranormal. I do like romance and erotica. I like sci-fi. I like some kind of mystery thriller, but I'm not really, I like a little bit of romance. I like romance in my books, the other ones. No literary stuff, though. Just saying. Okay, let me know what you're reading. All right.